So it has been confirmed that a biopic about the life and legacy of Suge Knight is coming soon. The Jasmine brand reported that Suge's life rights were recently purchased by producer Steve Whitney. Steve has worked on films such as The Amityville Horror, One Chance, Borderland, and more. And it looks like Suge is really happy with the news that Steve is the one to be handling the project. Suge, who is currently serving a prison sentence, reacted to the news, saying, "Over the last 30 years, there has been so much talk about Compton, me, the inner cities, and death row. A lot of talk. Even when it comes to making my movie, there has been so many imposters saying they have my rights, or they got the deal. That was, and is, all talk. I met a guy named Mike Clean that was with Ruthless. David Kenner was on the phone with Michael Harris, and they took a meeting with Jerry Heller. And during the process of taking that meeting, they were trying to sell Dr. Dre back to Ruthless behind my back. Mike Clean told me about it, and I respect him for it. We became friends. So when it came time to do a real movie and tell the truth about it, he introduced me to Steve Whitney. Now Steve, Mike, and I, and the woman that has my back, are making this movie, taking it to the next level." Suge was sentenced to 28 years in prison for voluntary manslaughter in 2018. He's currently at the R.J. Donovan Correctional Facility in San Diego. In 2015, Suge crashed his car into two men, one of whom was Terry Carter, the co-founder of Heavyweight Records. As a result, Terry passed away, and another person was also injured, Clee Sloan, who suffered injuries to his head and foot.
Overnight, music mogul Suge Knight turning himself in to Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputies.
What up, Suge? How you doing, man?
Knight behind the wheel of a hit and run in Compton, California that left one man dead and another man injured. The incident now being investigated as a homicide.
I seen Suge Knight turn around and go to his car. He ran him over twice.
Knight allegedly hitting the two men with his red pickup truck, then backing over them before leaving.
People we've talked to say it looked like it was an intentional act.
Knight's attorney confirming the mogul was behind the wheel of the truck, but saying it was an accident, that Knight was attacked by two other people and trying to escape when he mowed down the victims.
No comment.
James Blatt says the man who died was Knight's friend, Terry Carter. The other man was not seriously hurt.
Suge has been in and out of jail for decades, mainly for assault and probation violations. When he got into a fight with Orlando Anderson at the MGM Grand Casino, in which Tupac was involved, that was a probation violation, and he ended up going back into jail for it. In 1995, Suge was sentenced to 5 years probation for an incident that took place in 1992. He assaulted two rappers at a recording studio in Hollywood. Ultimately, he ended up getting sentenced to 9 years in prison and was released in 2001. Before entering the music business, Suge was a footballer. He made 2 appearances for the Los Angeles Rams in 1987. Death Row Records was founded in 1992, and it is responsible for producing some of the greatest rap albums of all time. The label began to decline after Tupac's death in 1996. In 2006, it was auctioned to Wide Awake Entertainment for $18 million. In 2009, the owner of Wide Awake became bankrupt, and in 2012, the label was then sold to Entertainment One, and it then became a division of Hasbro, of all things. The biopic should be quite interesting, considering how colourful of a life Suge Knight has lived. No doubt it would include his time with Tupac Shakur. I wonder who's going to be cast as Tupac. Maybe the guy who did the Tupac biopic, since he does look like him. And what happened with Ruthless, Jerry Heller, and Eazy-E. I'm sure it's going to be good, because Suge is still with us, so he's going to have a lot of input, no doubt. I'm sure they will strive to do a really good job, since Suge will probably be overseeing everything from his prison cell, and I wouldn't want to be the person to make a bad biopic about him, because we've seen what happens to people who cross him, and I'm sure he has connections even though he's in jail. So yeah, I'm sure the biopic's going to be good. But what I'm really hoping is that it's an honest biopic, and not just from Suge's perspective, because obviously he's going to want to portray himself in the best light. So I hope it has insight from a variety of people who worked with Suge, who knew him personally. Suge Knight has been depicted in other biopics though, such as Michelet's biopic and F. Gary Gray's 2015 Straight Outta Compton. Ironically, it was at the shoot for the Straight Outta Compton biopic when Suge got into an argument that led up to the hit and run incident. What are you hoping is included in the biopic? Will you be watching? I know I will. So we shall see. Thanks for watching. Share your thoughts below. Like and subscribe for weekly videos. And don't forget to click the bell for more.